Arizona has just announced the Live for a Night tour. And this is going to be first episode where we're going to do a tour preview. And we're going to look at mostly at upcoming dates, where the tickets being sold, what platforms are being sold on, what are the fees, also what does the VIP package include? Is the VIP package worth it? Also, if you're a promoter or a venue out there, where are the opportunities potentially to book another show, to add maybe a date on a tour? Now, this is a Live Nation tour, so chances to add a date are pretty low, but where would the opportunities be? And if we were to do a forecast, how much is the artist getting paid? And how much are all parties making? How much is the manager, agent, venue, promoter? How much is everyone making? We'll include a forecast in the bonus portion. If you want to have access to the forecast and the spreadsheet that you're about to see, go to patreon.com/making it academy, and you'll have access to everything right there. And I have a link to that in the description of the video below. So let's dive into this tour. Now, first, the tour flyer. Here's the announcement. This was July 26, 2023, or June 26, 2023, right? So 3 days after the tour was announced. Already some low ticket warnings and a sold out show in Brooklyn. So the show is off to a really strong and successful start. And if you want to learn more about the tour, go to thisisarizonamusic.com/tour. So let's take a look at all the dates. Let's make this a little bit smaller. So here's all the dates, the days, the city, state, venue, capacity, ticket price, the fees, fee percentage, and what platforms are being used. Since this is a Live Nation tour, most of the shows are being sold on Ticketmaster and Live Nation. There's 2 shows that are being sold on different platforms. One of them is sold on ShowClicks. That's the Salt Lake City show. That might just be because either it's not a Live Nation show, I'm assuming it still is, or the venue just has a ticketing deal with ShowClicks and they can't get out of this ticketing deal. Also, e-tix for the Eugene show at the McDonald Theater. And it also has the lowest fee, just to point out. It was only a 24.3% fee, right? So, but most of it being on Ticketmaster and Live Nation, the fees are ranging in the mid-30s to about low 40s on average in the percentage for the average fee on top of the ticket. So pretty high fees on this tour, right? I've worked for a pretty big independent venue. If you know my background, you probably know which one I'm talking about. But the fees at this venue were at about 16.5% when I was there. They're probably now at 18%. But it's independent. They run their own they have their own ticketing platform, so they can completely control the fees. A lot of performing arts centers actually use a different ticketing platform because they sell memberships and subscriptions to their Broadway series. So they tend to actually have lower fees. So that's a little hint for if you're ever going to see a show and you wanted to pay lower percentage of fees. If you are interested in who gets paid on all these fees and these service fees, I'll drop a link to a Taylor Swift Eras Tour video that I did that really breaks down on how all these fees work. But next thing I guess we'll look at is the VIP package. I'll talk about this here in a second. But VIP is $130 to $140. So it's $100 added on top of the ticket price. The VIP includes the ticket, right? So it's added on top. So this is called the VIP lift. And is it worth it? It includes a intimate meet and hang with Arizona, an individual photo with the band, a pre-show moderated Q&A, 1 autograph commemorative VIP laminate, early entry, early access to merchandise. That seems like a pretty worthwhile, right? If you get to take the photo with the artist and quickly say hi to them, right? Even if it's a quick 10-second, 20-second hi, ask one question type deal. There's a moderated Q&A. That's kind of a cool experience. You get the laminate, the feel-good laminate. The laminate gets you access to nothing, right? But this seems like a pretty cool, worthwhile VIP package. So if I was a fan of the band, I would definitely go for the VIP ticket. When we get to the forecast portion, just to address this right here, we're going to look at a forecast of a similar show, similar type of artist that I did in a 1,320 capacity venue where the ticket price was $25. The band got a $17,000 guarantee. The show ended up selling $1,250, and the band didn't make any additional money. So that'll be for the bonus portion. One other quick thing to point out, what are the top 3 shows to go see on this tour, and also where are the opportunities? So if you're a promoter, this wasn't a Live Nation tour, right here, if you look at a map right between Chicago and Madison, that is not that far of a drive. So on that Thursday, October 12th, could be an opportunity. Maybe in Milwaukee, you try to add on a date on a tour, right? Here's another potential opportunity. Maybe they're willing to go a little bit more west, coming out of Garden City to play a show in Reno. Again, Live Nation tours, the chances are not super high, but it's an opportunity to reach out to the agent saying, hey, is Arizona interested in adding a date in Reno? Is Arizona interested in adding a date in Milwaukee, right? And at least an opportunity to say hello to the agent and start developing a relationship there, right? There's a few open dates between the Silver Spring and New York date, with the Brooklyn date already sold out, and the band being from New Jersey. This is probably their tour closing, probably hometown show. Very high potential that they're adding a couple more dates to this once this is being sold out, right? There's, if you look at the Irving Plaza calendar, so I would look at the calendar of the venue, see if they have any booked on the 12th, 13th, 15th, 16th. There's nothing booked. High potential they're going to maybe add additional dates to here playing Irving Plaza. Now, I already have highlight here in green the top 3 shows to go. I'll usually like a show in the beginning, middle, and end of a tour as the best shows, the must-go-see shows, right? So if you're a fan of Arizona, I didn't necessarily pick the tour kickoff. Probably need to learn a little bit more about the Bluestone in Ohio, but House of Blues Chicago is a really good, fun, legendary House of Blues. House of Blues tend to always sound pretty good, have good production, even though the band's probably bringing all their own production. But this is probably a really cool, close to kickoff, tour kickoff show, right? So I would recommend the Chicago, Illinois shows. Chicago also always a cool, fun city. And speaking of cool, fun cities, right, of course, Austin, Texas, there's a show in Austin. Highly likely, I would always recommend Austin. I mean, Atlanta, Nashville, that's a tough one, right? So would you go to Austin, Atlanta, Nashville? Depends on, I guess, what city you're a bigger fan of. But I know Emos is a cool, legendary venue. So if you're going to travel to see your favorite band, Arizona, and you haven't been to Emos in Austin, I'd highly recommend going to that show. The Brooklyn Bowl in Nashville, pretty new venue in Nashville. It's part of the whole the Brooklyn Bowl venues. That Nashville's always an amazing place to see a show, and so much to do with live music there. So, I mean, that's a very, very close third if I wasn't picking Austin's. And then, of course, the closing hometown show at the Irving Plaza in New York. I would think those would be the top 3 shows. Now, if we're looking at a forecast, I'll just preview it here, but then we'll go into the bonus feature of this video, right? So if we look at average, the ticket around is about $35 for every show, right? And the average capacity is about 1,761. So the gross potential is 61,000 if it's sold out. If I'm forecasting 80%, I'll go a little more into detail why I'm forecasting 80%, or projecting right in my budget. It's about $50,000 potential. So anyways, more on that in just a second. Thank y'all for watching this. I hope you enjoy this new tour preview format I'm experimenting with. If you want to have access to the spreadsheet I just previewed, go over to Patreon, patreon.com/Making It Academy. Help support me continue making this type of content and just having fun with the YouTube show and the podcast. $1 a month, you'll have access to this forecast and spreadsheet. You'll get at least access to others once a month, and plan on doing this weekly. And if you want to pension $10 a month, you'll get access to all the forecasts and all the tour previews that I will do. And again, hopefully at least one weekly, if not multiple weekly. There's multiple tours being announced. It's just all depends on how time allows. But I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a comment below what else you'd like to see featured in the tour previews. And until next time, go see shows, meet people, make stuff. Peace, everyone.